Now is the time to show that we're serious. Let us all pull together as one to help eradicate starvation. We do the things you said, acting everywhere to show that you really care. To show some unity. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Lookout. And good evening to all persons who are viewing this rally tonight on social media. I feel good tonight. Don't worry. Don't worry. The white train is still running. I said it in Salem. I went to Germans and I said it. And last week I said it in St. Peter's. There's a white train running and it's running fast. It's not going to stop and nothing is going to turn it around because there's work to be done. There's work to be done. And the United Alliance train will not stop. No decision of no person is going to stop it. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I just wish to say to you to take courage. Because I stand with you tonight, I urge you all, let us not be discouraged. Let us not be swayed by fear of division. Let us unite under the banner of hope and resilience. Together we can reclaim our narrative and build a future where every citizen has a voice. A future where we rise above the challenges and embrace opportunities. So I call on each of you tonight to take action as we approach this pivotal election, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that your voice, your vote is your voice. Stand with me. Stand with our leader, Ruben Timid, and all the other members of the Alliance team. Place your X next to the names of every Alliance member. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to say a lot about what would have happened today and over the last few days, but I'll just say this. It was a great victory for the PDM. It's a great victory for the MCAP. And it's also a great victory for the governor. Today, I might say congratulations. Congratulations. But more than ever before, it shows who we are. And it shows how we continue to shoot ourselves in the foot. The disunity among us has kept our country back. We will never progress. We will never progress as a people with this type of insularity. Tonight, I say to the governor, to the returning officer, to the supervisor of elections, to the cabinet, it is not too late to come together and make a policy decision. Let every candidate in this race contest the elections. On the face of the record, and based on what we have seen, the candidates have not objected. If they wanted to object, they would have objected. So my plea to you, be bigger than that. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't take anything off you to reverse your decision. So tomorrow, I look forward to hearing from you. Issue an addendum to the Gazette notice and let us move forward. And that is my humble prayer tonight. And the reason, ladies and gentlemen, why that is my humble prayer is that last week we had no objections to a cabinet secretary reaching 7,000 miles away from St. Helena to sit in our cabinet. to be privy to our confidential conversations in cabinet, and to be the custodian of our confidential documentation. Yet we have objected to me, ladies and gentlemen, to me. And in 1996 April, when the volcano opened and the ash came down and it was dark and there was lightning and thunder, someone stayed behind in the Attorney General's office in town to write the laws, to write the emergency regulations. And that was me. That was me. And there were two others there as Plymouth became evacuated and people ran. Don't know the danger. Three persons stayed in that Attorney General's office. Steady. Stayed Roy Mead. And he waited. And his wife may have been in peril, but he could not go because there was a duty. We had a duty to the people to get those regulations out. And the other person was the Attorney General Gertrude Thom from Guyana. And ladies and gentlemen, I sat there from a clean slate. I couldn't find nothing else that looks like it. And I pulled a blank piece of paper and I began to write, whereas. I said, whereas. And I said, whereas for over half an hour and I couldn't get the words out. But I say, I have a duty to the people of this country. I have a duty to the people of this country. And in 3 hours, I had the emergency powers regulation written. And I gave it to her and she said, thank you, well done. And we went, and that was the end of us in Plymouth. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2012, I was asked to revise the laws of this country, and I became the Law Revision Commissioner of the 2012 revised laws of Montserrat. In 2013, I was asked by the Deputy Governor, Jim Lee, that's his name, Jim Taylor, Deputy Governor Jim Taylor, could you assist us in operationalizing the Complaints Commission? The 2012 Constitution was just passed and there was a new body established called the Complaints Commission. And they wanted someone to assist them in getting it going. And I said, consider it done. Consider it done. And it was 10 years. I spent 10 years, ladies and gentlemen, on that commission. Recommendations to the government. I heard public servants and their cry, and we assisted them. We made recommendations, ladies and gentlemen, which would improve the administration of justice in the public service. Over and over and over, 140 meetings. And in 2019, I took over as chair of that commission. And throughout the 5 years when they're saying I wasn't here, I was the chair of that commission throughout the whole period. The whole period. And I've finally come back. I've come back here, I've established myself, I have my practice and I'm helping people, good people, and I've employed people. And instead of saying, welcome home, my good servant, welcome home, my good brother, bring others with you, we need more people, you have turned around and stabbed me in my back. That is what you have done tonight. And the people of this country will not forgive you. We will not give up. I will be with United Alliance team forever. I feel it tonight because we did not object. We did not object when the policeman came to displace our policemen. We didn't displace when the cabinet secretary came. But this humble servant who has tried so hard with this country over the years, and I'm saying, I want to serve you. And what you have done, you have stabbed me in my back. You have stabbed me in my back and said, no, you are not good enough to stand in our election. United Alliance has my back, and I have his back also. Ladies and gentlemen, over the last week, I started this campaign on a very positive note, and I tried to bring solutions to the people. But just last week, this campaign has taken a very nasty turn. a very nasty turn where we have begun to curse each other personally. And it's not good. It's not a good thing. The PDM, ladies and gentlemen, the PDM, I'm not going to go low. I'm going to stay high. But there are some things which they've placed on the record which need to be corrected tonight. And I need to clear my name. I declared my candidacy a few weeks ago. And in my statement, ladies and gentlemen, I said this. I said, leadership matters. Leadership matters. And I kept the narrative going, leadership matters, leadership matters. And what happened? The PDM took offense. They said, George, you are against Paul. I said, how am I against Paul? I didn't call Paul's name. I said, leadership matters. They said, you're against Paul. And I said, no, the only person's name I called was T. Ruben Meade. I said, he has the resolve. He has what it takes to take this country forward. And that's the only name which I called. I did not call Paul's name. But the PDM supporters said, no, George, you're against Paul because you're speaking about leadership. I don't know how they are able to get those together. But I did not call anyone's name. I said, leadership. Leadership is what is going to take this country forward. That's what I said. That is what I said. But then I said, well, if I didn't call Paul's name and they're behaving so, what if I call Paul's name? So I said, let me call Paul's name. So I went over to Salem and I said, well, ladies and gentlemen, this week we had a situation where, the HR department of the government advertised the posts of those persons who are on the PDM, but they didn't advertise the posts of those who are on the MCAP. We had the old issue and I'm not going back to that now. So then I said, well, that matters for the deputy governor. But then Paul got up and he wrote a strong letter and he said, Governor, you have done that. And I said, Paul doesn't understand internal self-governance because he should have gone to the deputy governor. He should have gone to the deputy governor. And that made him even more irritated, ladies and gentlemen. I said, what have I done? I've called Paul's name, but I've been constructive. But ladies and gentlemen, when I went to the Davie Hill Community Center and I saw Paul, at the meeting we had there and all the candidates were there with the Elections Commission, I went and said, Paul, how are you, my friend? And I put my hand out. And he turned his back. I had no intention of speaking this tonight, but the reason I'm doing so is because I sent him a love note to tell him, relax. And he has gone beyond and beyond and began to attack me personally last week. And I'm saying, you know what, I'm going to tell the people that love note I wrote to you. But the story doesn't finish there. It doesn't finish there because in the same Davie Hill Community Center, I said I'm not leaving here before I shake Paul's hand. I'm not going to do that. I'm a man. So when I came out of the community center, I saw Paul. I said, Paul. He was speaking to a few other persons whose names, Glenn and others, and good brethren. And he said, I'm speaking. So he's closer to his brethren. I said, okay, I'll wait. And he thought I'd gone. But I went back and said, when there was a pause in the conversation, I said, Paul, good. And he turned his back. And I still was not going to speak about that at all. But he has gone and attacked me personally. He didn't take the message I was sent to him to. So what I did, ladies and gentlemen, is that I went home and I sent him a love note, which I will read to you now. I said, Paul, although we find ourselves in different parties, I have been careful to say to people that I do not have any enemies in the PDM. Yes, we will hit each other, on the issues. We will each promote our respective parties as the best for Montserrat, which is to be expected. But I did not expect us to reach a point where you refuse to shake my hand when offered, not once, but twice. I said, if there is something that I have done which you do not like or do not approve, then Paul, please tell me. I said, I will let this stay for now in hope that as you reflect on it, you will come to accept that behavior which is inconsistent with the PDM's creed of people first. And it is damaging to the image of the PDM. And I said finally, ladies and gentlemen, it is not everything that we need to take to the platform or to act out in public. And listen now, I said, try and remember that you are a potential premier of Montserrat, and that the way you treat people who you think have offended you matters. Ladies and gentlemen, the job of premier requires statesmanship. It requires statesmanship. It doesn't require someone who is thin-skinned and can't take it, because all I did is that I criticized constructively. And none of this would have come out, but he gone to criticize me personally. And a lot of things he has said about me, which I would not repeat tonight, but I'll repeat some. Just the ones which we can be said here tonight. And what he said, which was, he said, and this actually he said, I look out. He said, I went to Guyana, CARICOM Secretariat, and George was there working. And I went to sign a document called the CICRE, which is the CARICOM Renewable Energy Agreement for the region. And George tried to get me not to sign it. And he said, I called Deborah, and I was so ashamed that what he said was not true. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what I want to say to you. The business of CARICOM and what I did there, part of it was that when you come to sign an instrument, I must say to you, you need to have the requisite powers. My job is to ensure that you have the requisite powers to sign. So I said to Paul, it's two levels. You're not the premier, and so you just need to understand that you need to have the requisite power. But secondly, we are also overseas territory. So you just make sure, Paul, that you have the requisite authority from that's all I said to Paul. Just ensure you have the requisite authority. That agreement was prepared by my department, of which I oversee in CARICOM. When we write documents, we want people to sign them because it shows relevance. I could not tell Paul, don't sign it. He doesn't understand. And that's the danger we have of having a premier who doesn't understand. That is the problem. He doesn't understand. And I was associated with the PDM for some time. And he said also, you were the problem in the PDM. I never came here and exposed any problems in the PDM, tell you anything, but he came and said, you were the problem in the PDM. And he behaved as if somehow he fired me from PDM. I said, look at that. Look at that. Well, if I was the problem in the PDM, I was the problem in the PDM because I don't stand for anything which is disorganized. I stand for process and systems and organization. So if I was a problem, it was that I couldn't stand for it. And then I wouldn't say anything about leadership. I'll leave it there. I wouldn't say anything about leadership in the PDM. So you cannot say I say. But worse still, it was said that I've come here to contest this election because I'm broke. And Ruben too. But ladies and gentlemen, this is what I want to say to you. I actually grew up broke. Yeah, I grew up broke. And I did not even know it because I was happy. I was broke, but I was happy. And it shows that people who are broke are people too. We are people too. You are supposed to uplift those who are broke rather than cursing them. It is your duty to uplift, not curse. I was broke and I understand when people are broke. And that's why when people come to me for services, I don't even charge. I say, you know what? I understand your situation. I say, go, I will represent you. I will represent you because I understand your circumstances. Yes. So it's okay to be broke. We just need to assist. And then we got so low, we said, well, some of us are too old. Your leader is old, he's 70. And guess what? The party is people first. And so people who are 70 and so on have no use to the PDM. Although it's party, people first, they have no use. They don't have no use for people who are broke. No use for people who are old. Ladies and gentlemen, the United Alliance will embrace everyone. It is what Ann Thomas said tonight. We are embracing, party. All embracing, all inclusive. And together, ladies and gentlemen, we'll move forward. Nationals, non-nationals, and everyone. Diaspora, the United Alliance is a silver lining in the dark cloud. We are the silver lining in the dark cloud, and I'm not going anywhere. If they thought they had gotten rid of me, they're wrong. Because I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here forever. Forever. And I'm going to stand with the people. I will stand with the people and the United Alliance Party. I will be there. I will be there. What I can say, ladies and gentlemen, is that dialogue like this somehow take us away from the real issues. So tonight I firstly want to declare a truce with the PDM. I say you've responded, you've accused me, and I've responded. Let us stop it. Let us stop it now. I promise you that if you keep on doing it, it's going to be worse. It could get worse. And I'm telling you, stop it. Stop it. Because over the last few weeks, ladies and gentlemen, what we can see is that these black suits they're wearing at night are coming off. They're hot. They're getting desperate. Some are taking off their ties. And guess what? The United Alliance, we are cruising in our t-shirts because we're easy. We're easy. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you that this Alliance Party is something else. It is not only united, it is seamless. And it is moving. It is moving. Before I close, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to say this to you. Permit me to say this to you. We need to get back to the issues, the way we started. We need to get back to the issues and the way we started, bringing solutions. I don't want to close tonight without saying to the average man, the average person, there is hope for you. We need to get the cost of living down. Down. Fish is too expensive. The government, the UA government, will do something about this. One solution, ladies and gentlemen, is this. I've seen it elsewhere. I've seen it in relation to the gold board in Ghana and elsewhere. We have to find a way of taking that fish from the fishermen when they come in. Take it wholesale and let the government intervene for the time being and try to market the fish to the people at half the price. The government does not need to make a profit. The government needs to make sure that the price of fish, for example, is low enough for people to buy and get fresh fish. Yes, and we must encourage our fishermen to go for longer, more modern boats. incentives for them to build boats and to buy boats and to go for 2 and 3 days and bring the fish in. And we will deal with it. We'll take it off you. The government will take it off you wholesale and will market to the people. And the people who own supermarkets don't have to feel afraid because we will also sell it to you for a price which you can resell it for to make a profit. That is what government has to do. We have to intervene to make things better. To make things better for the struggling man. And I've said before, ladies and gentlemen, that that place in which I grew up is called Joe Morgan Hill. There are other places, but certainly that place is called Goat Country. I grew up there running goats and setting cold pit and so on. It's my turf. I know it. It's a big area and we must use it. Let's put the goats back in there. We need fresh meat in this country and we need to export also. These are not projects which require $1 million to capitalize. We can do it now. Now. And we need to also develop our trails, our mountain bike trails, so people can come and practice. And we must always work towards maybe a week of mountain biking, where people come down, maybe after St. Patrick's Day, they come down in numbers and ride bikes. And they are spill-offs for business, taxi men, entrepreneurs, people who buy bikes and rent bikes, and people who keep the trails. Ladies and gentlemen, that project in the Garibaldi, I'm speaking about the goat, doesn't require any big outlay of labor. We have a few rangers who keep the goats together. We have a slaughterhouse, and we take it from there. We have to try, just get a good breed of goat and put it in there. These are the things which we need to do for now, ladies and gentlemen. We need to stop the guy in the boat, not the guy in the boat, sorry, the Dominica boat from coming here. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want us to get back to solutions, and tonight I just want to say to you, don't worry. Just don't worry, because I'll be here with you all the time. I will be here. And I just wanted to reassure the people tonight that I'm going nowhere. Nothing can stop that train. Nothing is going to stop that train. So ladies and gentlemen, good night. The rain is coming down and it's just the right time. Showers a blessing. Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen. When you go to the polls on 24th, I want you to wake up early. Wake up early. Say your prayers. And go to the poll. And it's all 9. I didn't say 8. All 9. Down the line. Thank you. Thank you very much.